students, welcome to English classes. In my previous two videos, I have discussed about the voice change of present, past and future tense. In today's video, I am going to discuss about the voice change of interrogative or question mark sentences. There are basically two types of interrogative sentences, A. Yes-no question and B. WH question. Yes-no question. Answers of which questions can be given in yes or no. Those question sentences are called yes-no question sentences. Let us see an example of yes-no question voice change. In active voice, does he practice his lessons daily becomes in passive voice, are his lessons practiced daily by him? So here you can see that the voice change of a simple present interrogative sentence. The verb does practice has been changed to are practiced. The usage of auxiliary verb, that is does and are, depends on the subjects. So does depends on he and are depends on his lessons, which is a plural. WH question. Those question sentences which start with a WH word, that is who, what, why, where and many more, are called WH questions. Let us see an example of WH question voice change. In active voice, where did you find that book becomes in passive voice. Where was that book found by you? So here you can see that the rule of voice change of WH question sentence is as same as yes-no question. Only difference is that in this sentence there is a WH word at the first of the sentence. So after changing the voice, place of the WH word remains the same. In this example, you can see that did find, which is the simple past form of the verb, has been changed to was found as per the rule. Was found. Now let's see a detailed and easier process to change the voice change of interrogative sentences with some more examples. Example of simple present tense interrogative voice change. In active voice, do you drink milk daily? In step 1, you have to change this question sentence into an assertive or normal sentence, which is you drink milk daily. In step 2, you have to voice change this sentence. So milk is drunk daily by you is the voice change form of this sentence. In step 3, which is also the passive voice form, you have to change this sentence into a question sentence. So is milk drunk by you daily? This sentence is the voice change of this sentence. So here you can see that in step 1, you change the question sentence into a normal sentence. You change this question sentence into this normal sentence. In step 2, you have to change the voice of that assertive or normal sentence. In step 2, I have put this voice change of this sentence. In step 3, you have to put the auxiliary verb before the subject to make it a question sentence again. And this sentence is the passive form of the given sentence. As I said that you have to put this auxiliary verb before subject and make this sentence a question sentence. So this sentence is the voice change or passive voice form of this sentence. Now let us now check an example of WH question. In active voice, how do you practice your lessons? In step 1, you have to keep how constant and you have to change the other sentence. So you have to keep the WH word constant and you have to change leftover sentence. So this sentence becomes the normal sentence. Again, you have to keep the how constant, and you have to voice change this sentence. So your lessons are practiced by you. It is the voice change form of this sentence. In the final step, you keep the WH word constant and make this sentence a question sentence. So you have to take this auxiliary verb before the subject to make this sentence and a question sentence. So it becomes, how are your lessons practiced by you? So here you can see that when we do a voice change of WH question sentence in 3 steps, the rule is as same as yes no question, but the place of the WH word in this sentence how remains constant. You can see that here. Now you have to keep in mind that doing interrogative voice change in this 3-step rule will make it for you easy and accurate. But you have to practice it more and try to do these voice changes in just 1 step, because only then you can save the time for other questions. Let us see some more examples. Present continuous tense. In active voice, are the students attending the class regularly? In step 1, it becomes the students are attending the class regularly. In step 2, it becomes the class is being attended regularly by the students. In step 3 of the passive voice sentence, it becomes is the class being attended regularly by the students. In a WH word, in active voice, why are you disturbing the kid? Becomes in step 1, why you are disturbing the kid. In step 2, it becomes the kid is being disturbed by you. And in step 3 of the passive voice form, it becomes why is the kid being disturbed by you. Present perfect sentence. In active voice, has the hunter shot the tiger? Becomes in step 1, the hunter has shot the tiger. In step 2, it becomes the tiger has been shot by the hunter. And in step 3 of the passive voice form, it becomes has the tiger been shot by the hunter. In an active voice sentence, where have you put my shoes? Becomes in step 1, where you have put my shoes. In step 2, it becomes my shoes have been put by you. In step 3 of the passive voice form, it becomes where have my shoes been put by you. Simple past sentence. In active voice, did he send the letter? Becomes in step 1, he sent the letter. In step 2, the letter was sent by him. In step 3 of the passive voice form, it becomes was the letter sent by him. An active voice sentence, why did not he submit his report? Becomes he did not submit his report. In step 2, it becomes his report was not submitted by him. In step 3 of the passive voice form, it becomes why was not his report submitted by him. So here why is constant. In a past continuous tense, in active voice, was she typing the letter correctly becomes in step 1, she was typing the letter correctly. In step 2, it becomes the letter was being typed correctly by her. In step 3, it becomes was the letter being typed correctly by her. In a WH word question, in active voice, when was the channel telecasting the show? Becomes in step 1, the channel was telecasting the show. In step 2, it becomes the show was being telecasted by the channel. In step 3 of the passive voice, it becomes when was the show being telecasted by the channel? So here you can see that when is constant. Past perfect sentence. In active voice, had you answered all the questions? Become in step 1, you had answered all the questions. In step 2, it becomes all the questions had been answered by you. In step 3, or passive voice form, it becomes had all the questions been answered by you. In active voice, how had he completed the experiment? In step 1, it becomes he had completed the experiment. In step 2, it becomes the experiment had been completed by him. In step 3, or the passive voice form, it becomes how had the experiment been completed by him. Here, how is constant. In simple future sentence, an active voice, will you take some soft drinks, becomes in step 1, you will take some soft drinks. In step 2, it becomes some soft drinks will be taken by you. And in step 3, or passive voice form, it becomes will some soft drinks be taken by you. Active voice sentence, when will the boy eat his dinner, becomes in step 1, when the boy will eat his dinner. In step 2, it becomes when his dinner will be eaten by the boy. In step 3 of the passive voice form, it becomes when will his dinner be eaten by the boy. Future continuous tense. Active voice, will you be calling me daily? Step 1, it becomes you will be calling me daily. In step 2, it becomes I shall be being called daily by you. And in step 3, or passive voice form, it becomes shall I be being called daily by you. I have skipped the example of WH question in future continuous tense because the usage of voice change of interrogative future continuous tense is very rare, but I have already discussed you about the rule, which is quite less important, so you can skip this. Except all these voice changes of various WH words, there remains two other WH words, who and what. The rule of voice change of these two WH words is a little different. Let us see some example. In active voice, who did the work? In step 1, it becomes the work was done by whom. In step 2, you have to bring by whom at the first, and the work was done. You have to keep the leftover sentence here. In step 3 of the passive voice form, it becomes by whom was the work done. So here you can see that in the active voice sentence, WH word who is present. We should treat who as the subject. So in step 1, voice change of simple past tense is done. So here you can see that voice change of this simple past tense is done here. Who did the work? The work was done by whom. So here I have treated who as the subject. So it becomes here by whom. In step 2, you have to take by whom at the first of the sentence. So I have taken by whom at the first of the sentence and keep the leftover sentence here. In step 3, you have to take the auxiliary verb was after the WH word by whom and complete the process of voice change. So you have to bring was before the subject and complete the process of voice change. Let us see some more examples of WH who sentences. In active voice, who is building this house becomes in step 1, the house is being built by whom. And in step 2, I take the by whom first, and this house is being built. By whom is this house being built? It is the passive voice form of this sentence. In active voice, who will paint the picture becomes in step 1, the picture will be painted by whom. In step 2, you take the by whom first and the picture will be painted. Keep the leftover here. In step 3, by whom will the picture be painted? It is the voice change form of this sentence. As we should treat who as a subject, we should treat what as an object. Now let's see some example. In active voice, what does he want becomes in step 1, he wants what. And in step 2, it is the voice change sentence, so it becomes what is wanted by him. So you treat what as a object and take it to the object place and just simply change the voice of this sentence, what is wanted by him, and it will be the voice change of this sentence. So here you can see that in step 1, the question sentence has been changed to a normal or assertive sentence, and what has been put in the place of a subject. Here you can see that the question sentence has changed here into a normal sentence, and what has been put into the place of object. In step 2, what has been exchanged with the place of subject, what comes here, and it is the voice change of this sentence. And other rules are same as the basic voice change, what you have already known. So here you need not to use the 3-step formula. Only 2 steps are needed to change this voice. It is quite easy to change the voice of a what sentence. Let us see some more example. In active voice, what did you tell me becomes in step 1, you told me what, and in step 2, or the passive voice form, it becomes what was he told by you. In active voice, what will she eat at night becomes in step 1, she will eat what at night. What is the object here? And what will be eaten at night by her? It is the passive voice form of this sentence. So that's all for today. I hope that I have helped you a little bit in the case of voice change of interrogative sentence. In my next video, I will discuss about other types of voice changes like imperative sentence, modal verbs, and quasi-passive voice change. So keep up with the channel. Thank you. That's all for today. Bye bye.